Hey Taurus, grab your coffee, because what I'm about to share with you is genuinely fascinating. I just pulled the cards for you, and honestly, the energy coming through is so interesting. Something significant is about to shift in your world within the next 3 days. And I mean this in the most authentic way possible. So let me tell you what I'm seeing here. The first card that came through is the Star, and this energy is really beautiful. You know that feeling when you've been through something difficult and you finally see a glimmer of hope? That's exactly what's happening for you right now. The Star is bringing this sense of renewed faith and optimism into your life. It's like the universe is saying, "Hey Taurus, I know things haven't been easy, but look up because something amazing is on the horizon." This card suggests that you're entering a phase where your dreams actually start to feel achievable again. Not in some fantasy way, but in a real, tangible sense. The healing energy around this is powerful too. If you've been dealing with disappointment or heartache, the Star is telling me that you're finally ready to move forward. Within these next 3 days, you might receive news or have a realization that completely changes your perspective on a situation you've been worried about. The interesting thing about the Star showing up first is that it sets the tone for everything else coming through. This isn't about small changes or minor shifts. This is about major transformation in how you see your future possibilities. You might find yourself suddenly believing in something you had given up on. Or maybe someone enters your life who reignites your faith in humanity. The timing here is specific too. Within 3 days, something happens that makes you think, wow, maybe things really are turning around for me. Now, here's where things get really intriguing. The second card is Eight of Swords, and I have to be honest with you about this one. This card is showing me that part of what's about to explode in your life is the realization that you've been holding yourself back. Have you been feeling trapped in some situation? Like you want to make a move, but you keep talking yourself out of it? The Eight of Swords represents self-imposed limitations. The beautiful thing about this card appearing now is that it's not here to make you feel bad. It's here because you're about to break free from whatever mental prison you've been living in. Within the next 3 days, something happens that makes you suddenly see clearly. It's like someone turns on a light in a dark room and you realize the door was never actually locked. You've had the power to leave this whole time. This could be related to a job situation where you've been afraid to speak up or make a change. Or maybe it's a relationship where you've been accepting less than you deserve because you convinced yourself you don't have other options. The Eight of Swords is telling me that your perception is about to shift dramatically. What you thought was impossible is actually completely possible. What you thought was keeping you stuck was really just fear dressed up as logic. I want to emphasize this because it's important. The combination of the Star and Eight of Swords together is powerful. It's saying that hope is returning to your life specifically because you're about to recognize where you've been limiting yourself. Once you see the truth of your situation clearly, everything changes. And this is happening fast, like within 72 hours fast. The third card that came through is Judgment. And okay, this is where things get really serious. Judgment is one of those major cards that doesn't show up for small matters. This is about awakening, rebirth, and major life decisions. When I see Judgment in a reading about something happening in 3 days, it tells me that you're about to experience a moment of truth. Something you've been avoiding looking at directly is about to demand your attention. But here's the thing. This isn't punishment. Judgment is about finally seeing things as they really are and making decisions based on truth rather than fear or denial. You might receive information that changes everything, or you might have a conversation that's been long overdue. The energy of Judgment is about taking accountability and making choices that align with your highest good. Within these next 3 days, you're going to be called to step up in some area of your life. This could mean finally having that difficult conversation you've been putting off. Or maybe it's about admitting something to yourself that you've been denying. The important thing is that Judgment brings clarity. After this moment passes, you won't be able to go back to pretending you don't know what you know. What I find fascinating about these 3 cards together is the story they're telling. The Star shows hope returning, Eight of Swords shows mental clarity breaking through, and Judgment shows a moment of truth arriving. This is a complete transformation happening in a very short time frame. It's like the universe has been building up to this moment, and now it's finally here. Moving to the fourth card, we have Four of Cups. This is interesting because Four of Cups often represents someone who's been feeling emotionally disconnected or dissatisfied. You know that feeling when nothing seems to excite you anymore? Like you're going through the motions but not really feeling engaged with life? That might be where you've been recently. But the reason this card is showing up now is because that numbness is about to end. Within 3 days, something or someone is going to appear that genuinely captures your interest again. The Four of Cups also suggests that you might have been so focused on what you don't have that you've missed what's being offered to you. There's this image in the traditional card of someone sitting under a tree, arms crossed, ignoring 3 cups in front of them, while a hand from a cloud offers a 4th cup. That 4th cup represents a new opportunity or gift that you almost miss because you're too busy being disappointed. The message here is to pay attention in the next 3 days because something valuable is being presented to you. Don't let your past disappointments blind you to present opportunities. What makes this particularly relevant to your reading is that it suggests you've been in a bit of a funk, maybe feeling like nothing good ever happens to you or that you're stuck in a rut. But that mindset is about to be challenged by reality. Something happens that proves you wrong about how bad things are. It might be small at first, like an unexpected compliment or a surprise opportunity, but it starts to shift your whole perspective. The 5th card is the Lovers, and I need to tell you, when this card shows up in a reading about major changes coming in 3 days, it's significant. The Lovers is about choices, relationships, and alignment. For you, Taurus, this suggests that whatever is about to explode in your life involves an important decision related to a relationship or partnership. This doesn't necessarily mean romantic, although it could. The Lovers can also represent business partnerships, creative collaborations, or even the relationship you have with yourself. Within the next 3 days, you're going to be faced with a choice that matters. Not a small decision like what to have for dinner, but a real fork in the road moment. The Lovers card is telling me that you already know deep down what the right choice is. Your intuition is clear on this, even if your logical mind is trying to complicate things. The key is to make decisions based on your values and what truly aligns with who you are at your core. Don't choose based on fear or what you think you should do. Choose based on what feels authentic to you. What I'm also picking up from the Lovers is that this decision might involve choosing yourself for once. Maybe you've been putting everyone else's needs before your own, and now you're being called to make a choice that honors your own heart. This could mean setting a boundary, walking away from something that doesn't serve you, or finally going after what you really want. The timing of this card suggests that the opportunity to make this choice presents itself within 72 hours. Now, we're at the 6th card, King of Swords, and this energy is sharp and clear. The King of Swords represents truth, logic, and mental clarity. This tells me that whatever decisions you need to make in the next 3 days, you'll have the mental sharpness to make them wisely. You're not going to be confused or clouded by emotion. Instead, you'll be able to see situations with remarkable clarity and make choices based on truth and logic. The King of Swords can also represent someone entering your life or someone in your life showing their true colors. If it's a person, they're likely to be intelligent, direct, and perhaps a bit intimidating in their honesty. They don't sugarcoat things. If you need advice or guidance in the next 3 days, seek out the most intellectually honest person you know. Don't go to someone who will just tell you what you want to hear. Go to the person who will tell you the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. What's interesting about the King of Swords appearing in this reading is that it suggests you're being called to embody this energy yourself. You need to cut through the nonsense and see things as they are. No more making excuses for people or situations. No more pretending things are fine when they're not. The King of Swords demands truth and integrity. Within 3 days, you're going to need to channel this energy to navigate whatever situation arises. The seventh card is Wheel of Fortune, and I cannot emphasize enough how significant this is. The Wheel of Fortune is about cycles, fate, and turning points. When this card appears, it signals that a major shift is happening in your life that feels somewhat out of your control. Not in a bad way necessarily, but in the sense that something bigger than you is moving things forward. Within the next 3 days, the wheel is turning in your favor. A cycle that has been difficult or stagnant is about to shift dramatically. The Wheel of Fortune reminds us that nothing stays the same forever. If things have been hard, they won't stay hard. If you've been waiting for something to change, this is your sign that change is imminent. What I find particularly powerful about this card showing up is that it suggests the changes coming aren't small adjustments. This is a major turn of the wheel. Something you've been hoping for might suddenly become possible, or something you've been worried about might resolve itself in an unexpected way. The key with the Wheel of Fortune is to stay flexible and trust that the universe knows what it's doing, even when things feel chaotic. The eighth card that came through is Three of Wands, and this makes me excited for you because Three of Wands is about expansion, progress, and looking toward the future with confidence. After everything the previous cards have shown about clarity, decisions, and turning points, the Three of Wands is saying that you're about to see real forward movement. Within 3 days, something you set in motion starts to show results. This could be a project you've been working on, a goal you've been pursuing, or even a dream you've been holding in your heart. The Three of Wands has this energy of standing on a cliff looking out at ships coming in. It's about having planted seeds and now starting to see the harvest. For you, Taurus, this suggests that your patience and hard work are about to pay off. You might receive good news about something you applied for or inquired about. Or you might finally see progress in an area where things seemed stuck. The important message here is that your efforts haven't been wasted. Everything you've done to get to this point matters, and now you're about to see why. What I really love about the Three of Wands in this position is that it brings such positive, forward-moving energy. It's not about struggle or hardship. It's about expansion and opportunity. Within the next 72 hours, you might find yourself making plans for something exciting. Maybe you book a trip, start a new venture, or commit to a goal that feels ambitious but achievable. The Three of Wands encourages you to think bigger and to trust that you're ready for the next level. The ninth card is the Emperor, and this brings a very grounded, authoritative energy to your reading. The Emperor is about structure, leadership, and taking control. What this tells me is that part of what's exploding in your life within 3 days involves you stepping into your power in a new way. You're being called to take charge of a situation rather than waiting for someone else to handle it. The Emperor doesn't ask permission or wait to be chosen. The Emperor simply takes the throne and leads. For you, Taurus, this might mean finally making a decision you've been hemming and hawing about. Or it could mean setting boundaries with someone who has been overstepping. The Emperor energy is strong, confident, and clear about what is and isn't acceptable. Within the next 3 days, you might find yourself speaking up in a way you haven't before. Or maybe you make a move that surprises people because it's so decisive and bold. The key is that you're not being reckless. The Emperor makes calculated decisions based on wisdom and experience. You know what you're doing, and it's time to show it. What I find particularly powerful about the Emperor showing up is that it suggests you're ready to build something lasting. This isn't about temporary fixes or short-term solutions. You're thinking about the long game now. Within 3 days, you might make a commitment or start laying the foundation for something significant. Trust your ability to lead yourself and possibly others through whatever comes next. The 10th and final card is Nine of Pentacles. And honestly, this is such a beautiful way to end this reading. Nine of Pentacles is about self-sufficiency, abundance, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. This tells me that after everything the cards have shown, after all the clarity, decisions, and transformations happening in the next 3 days, you're heading toward a place of real abundance and satisfaction. Not just material abundance, although that's part of it, but also emotional and spiritual abundance. The Nine of Pentacles shows a person standing in a lush garden they've cultivated themselves. Everything around them is beautiful because they put in the work to make it so. For you, Taurus, this is your future if you follow through on what the cards are guiding you toward. The decisions you make in the next 3 days set you on a path toward greater independence and fulfillment. You won't need to depend on anyone or anything external for your happiness or security. You'll have built that for yourself. Within 3 days, you might get a preview of this energy. Maybe you receive money you weren't expecting, or you accomplish something that makes you proud of yourself, or you simply have a moment where you look around at your life and think, I did this. I created this reality. The Nine of Pentacles is telling you that everything is coming together. All the hard work, all the sacrifices, all the difficult choices are leading you to a place where you can finally relax and enjoy what you've built. So let me bring this all together for you. The cards are showing that within the next 3 days, something major shifts in your life. The Star brings renewed hope and healing. Eight of Swords brings mental clarity and freedom from self-imposed limitations. Judgment brings a moment of truth and awakening. Four of Cups brings new opportunities that genuinely interest you. The Lovers brings important choices about relationships and alignment. King of Swords brings sharp mental clarity and truth. Wheel of Fortune brings a major turning point. Three of Wands brings forward movement and expansion. The Emperor brings personal power and leadership. And Nine of Pentacles shows the abundance and satisfaction waiting for you on the other side of these changes. This is not a small shift. This is everything exploding in the best possible way. Your life is about to take a turn that you'll look back on as a defining moment. The energy is building right now as I'm telling you this. Within 72 hours, something happens that changes your trajectory. Pay attention to opportunities that present themselves. Be ready to make bold decisions. Trust your intuition. And most importantly, be willing to step into your power and claim what's yours. I'm genuinely excited for you, Taurus, because the cards are so clear that something great is arriving. Not someday in the distant future, but right now, within 3 days. Get ready, because your life is about to look very different. And the difference is going to be exactly what you've been hoping for, even if it arrives in an unexpected way. Has anyone else been feeling this building energy lately? Like something is about to shift, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is? That's the energy I'm picking up for Taurus right now, and it's powerful.